Hello and welcome back to another video. So I'm going to be giving you my thoughts about the Oura Ring, which I've had now for a little over 18 months.
Is this
one ring to rule them all?
Let's talk about it.
So I started looking into health trackers and in particular sleep trackers because I really wanted to optimize my sleep, knowing how important sleep is to overall health. And I came across the Oura Ring, which I'd heard a little bit about. The ring-based technology of the Oura Ring claims to be one of the most sort of accurate ways of measuring quality of sleep and all those sleep metrics. Now, at the time, I kind of had the decision to choose between the Oura Ring and the Whoop band. I'd kind of narrowed it down to those two health trackers. Now, I chose the Oura Ring because there's a bit more of a sleep bias to its capabilities compared with the Whoop band. If I wanted to measure my activity levels and my performance during exercise, maybe I would have gone more towards the Whoop band, but I've got a good Garmin watch that I use for my activity tracking really, so I wanted to make sure I was getting what I believed was the most accurate sleep tracker. Another thing that swayed me towards the Oura Ring, which some of you may think is minor anyway, and it is quite a minor thing, but with the Oura Ring you can actually put it onto airplane mode. And at the time, and I believe it's still the case, correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong, but the Whoop band doesn't have the capability of going into airplane mode. And the advantage of airplane mode is that it stops any radiation from EMF or electromagnetic field radiation, which is basically the radiation you get from Bluetooth devices, which granted is very, very minimal with all of the Bluetooth devices we use, but I prefer the option to be able to just get rid of it altogether. And you don't lose any performance while the Oura Ring is on airplane mode as well, so it still collects all the data as normal, which is great. So I suppose I bought this at the beginning of when they started becoming quite trendy. So Prince Harry was actually photographed wearing one of these, so they became quite popular, got a bit of press. Maybe they wouldn't get such good press now, but for me, yeah, it certainly wasn't a fashion. It's not a fashion accessory. I don't really look at it and think it looks really cool, but it's quite comfortable and it's nice and light. And yeah, you forget that you're wearing it most of the time, to be honest with you. And yeah, to sleep in, it's not a problem at all. It's not a bother at all. If you get the sizing right, if you spend a little bit of time choosing that size, then you'll be absolutely fine. What happens is you place your order and then you get sent a sizing kit, which is basically a box full of lots of plastic rings of all the sizes available in the Oura Ring. And what I did, I just spent a couple of days trying on all the different size rings on different fingers, and then I settled on a ring size and just let them know, and that's the one I got in the post. So what the Oura Ring does is it summarizes all your health data and it puts it into three main categories, and they are sleep score, so it gives you a sleep score, a readiness score and an activity score. And now it's probably at this point that I should let you know that I actually only use two of these scores really on a day-to-day basis, and they are the sleep score and the readiness score. So I started off wearing this ring all the time, 24/7, just to get used to it and just to see what data you get. And to be honest, the activity data that you get during the day is pretty basic stuff. So it measures your steps and your movement and the amount of time you're spending in a low or medium or high heart rate zone. So fairly basic activity data, and I didn't really feel it necessary for me to wear the ring 24 hours a day because of that. So I now only wear it at night. So going into the features that I actually use, so how I get my sleep score or my readiness score. So the Oura Ring during the night, it records lots of different metrics. So it records your heart rate throughout the night, records your respiratory rate, your body temperature, your movement, your heart rate variability. And heart rate variability is a really good measurement for working out how well you're recovering from the previous day's stress or strains that you may have put it through. So with all the different metrics that the Oura Ring is recording throughout the night, it can tell you some really good data, like how long it took you to get to sleep. It can tell you how long you've spent in in deep sleep or in REM sleep, and also how restless you were during the night. So in the morning when you download your data onto the smartphone app, it gives you a score out of 100, so your sleep score out of 100 and your readiness score out of 100. So anything above 85 is sort of considered excellent. You get a little crown that tells you, you're on track. So yeah, as well as your sleep score, you get your readiness score out of 100 as well, which gives you a good idea of how recovered your body is, and gives you a good idea of how much energy you might have in the day to come. So it's quite useful if you know you're planning on having a hard workout session or something, and then you can have a look and see if you're sufficiently recovered enough to do that session. Doesn't always match up. Sometimes you can have a really good sleep, but your readiness score will still be quite low. Maybe that's because you've had a really stressful day the day before. Maybe you've run a marathon or something the day before. You're very unlikely to get a good readiness score the next day. Now, I know I said a little while ago that I don't really wear this ring during the day, and that's largely true, but recently I've been using one of the features of the Oura app, which is kind of an app within an app, and it's the moment section of the Oura app. And what the moment section allows you to do is do some guided or non-guided meditation, and you basically, you can select how long you do the meditation for. You can even select the background music that you want to use.
This version of the 3-stage breathing space is intended for those moments when you feel troubled in mind or body.
And yeah, it can take you through a sort of period of meditation, and the great thing is as well that it provides you with some physiological data at the end of the meditation just to see how it affected your body, which is quite interesting. So would I recommend you get an Oura Ring? Well, I love my Oura Ring, but I would never say to anyone you need an Oura Ring, because you don't. It's a complete luxury, and it's a fairly expensive luxury at that. You know, it's not a necessity in order to be healthy that do you need one of these things, because you definitely don't. But it spits out some really great data, but there's no point in having all that data if you're not going to use it. So it does require you being a bit proactive and tweaking things in your lifestyle that are going to have an effect on your sleep, and trying to analyze it over time. So using the trends section on the app is excellent as well, so you can see over time if things are improving with your sleep and your recovery, or worsening, and you can kind of, if you're clever about it, you can kind of marry that up with any changes you've made in your lifestyle. Maybe you've stopped eating late at night, or you've stopped watching screens late at night. Maybe you're going to bed earlier. One of the simple things that I've noticed over the time using it, and it's an obvious one, you know, that when I go to bed before 11 p.m, the quality of my sleep is so much better than when I go to bed after 11 p.m. Even if I get the same length of sleep, the quality of my sleep is so much better. So I try my best to prioritize getting to bed a bit earlier, because I know how much better I'm going to feel in the morning, and how much better recovery I'm going to get from that night's sleep. And as I say, I've had this ring for over 18 months now, and I still use it every day. Every morning I wake up and download the data and have a look at the data. So for me, it's been a good investment, and I'm glad I've had it. So do you have any health monitoring tech? Do you have an Oura Ring? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be really interested to find out. But that is going to be today's video. Hope you find it helpful. If you did, hit the like button and consider subscribing. That would be absolutely awesome, and I'll catch you in another video.